The Lazarus Effect. You've reached the Lazarus Effect. Do not adjust your speakers. You're on with your host, D-Laz.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Hey, everybody. I realize a lot of y'all just got the link to this particular podcast. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and then I'm going to do the intro yet again because today's discussion is all too important. We are definitely going to get into it. I'm going to provide the number for you guys to give us a call in. As always, you're welcome to use the Spreaker chat to chat with me while I'm on the air. I do read your chats and I do respond to them. If you've ever listened to me, you know that I do that. Again, I'm going to give it a couple of minutes and I'm going to do the intro yet again because today's discussion, let me tell you guys, I am pissed, hella pissed. I mean, I in this administration, there's so many things to be upset about if you have any kind of patriotism for our country. But I'm going to tell you, today we're going to try to stay focused on one particular subject. So I'm going to give it another minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the intro yet again for those of you who are just tuning in. Like I said, my first couple of podcasts, I kept it kind of lightweight. I didn't want to get too deep on y'all, mainly because I wanted to make sure that I had more listeners, so we could kind of all have a discussion together and I'm not just listening to myself talk. But hopefully I'll get a few listeners today and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It's the discussions that we're going to have here are going to be important. They're going to be eye-opening. Just like I suggested from the very first podcast, I want this to be a discussion. Sometimes it could be a debate, depending on what we're talking about. But I want you to be able to take part in it just like I am. I'm giving you my opinion. I want to hear your opinions back. Who knows? You might be able to change my mind on some things. I might be able to change your mind on some things. I was just told that my volume was kind of low. Not sure why that's happening, but give me one moment. Testing. We're still pretty new, so we're still working out the kinks. Give me one moment. Can you hear me now? All right. Much better. All right. So like I said, I was going to give it another minute and then we were going to do the intro over again. So here we go. The Lazarus Effect. You've reached the Lazarus Effect. Do not adjust your speakers. You're on with your host, D-Laz. And just in case you don't know what we're talking about today, let me just let you know.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
Okay. All right. That's enough of that. So that's what we're talking about today. We are talking about racism, what I like to call the 3 R's today: Roseanne, racism, and reckless speaking. It didn't start with Roseanne today. Roseanne is what got me pissed enough to start talking again. I'm going to tell y'all, I've been going through some things. If you saw some of my posts on social media, I recently lost my father. And I've been going through a lot of things. So that's part of the reason why y'all haven't heard from me as often. But I am back in full effect. Like I said, feel free to go ahead and chat with me on the Spreaker platform. Say that three times fast. You can chat with me on the Spreaker platform. I will respond. Also, you can always call in. My phone number here is 1-833-4D-LAS. Again, that's 1-833-433-3529. I'll give that number out a few times during this podcast. So, like I said, the whole situation with Roseanne got me ticked enough to talk about it today. Because if you know anything about Roseanne within the last few years, she has been a little on the eccentric side, more eccentric than usual, should I say. We always know her to be a bit eccentric, but this eccentricism has teetered on supporting the far right and their agenda, and also has included quite a bit of racism. Today's rant was wasn't her first time. And in case you've been hiding under a rock today and you don't know exactly what happened as far as Roseanne, let me enlighten you. She compared a black woman politician to an ape on Twitter. Yeah, just let that sink in for a minute. She said something about if the Muslim Brotherhood and an ape was to have a baby, that's what this woman is. And I'm going to get her name in a minute, Valerie something. The point of the matter is you compared a black woman to something that we all know as black people is a stereotypical racist remark about our physical features. As a consequence, her show that had some of the highest ratings in the country was canceled today. Now, my first thing is, ABC, y'all already knew that this woman has said racist things in the past. So the question is, did y'all just not care because nobody else seemed to? Or is it that all of a sudden you care because everybody else seems to? Like, my question is, y'all already knew that she had the penchant to say these things, and yet you still gave her her own syndicated show, sitcom, whatever. So that's what we're talking about today. Like, besides the Roseanne thing, you know, Roseanne is just a small percentage of the celebrities and politicians and even regular people walking around, have had to say something racist recently. You know what I mean? It's just getting to a point where it's just ridiculous. And I mean, they just letting it fly off their tongue. I've been paying attention, not just on social media, but talking to people in regular life, and they sitting here talking about, people don't use the N-word on them, just, because in traffic, it's just getting to a point where they're just being overtly racist, and all the racists that already existed are coming out of the woodworks. They're feeling more comfortable to say certain things. I want to know how y'all all feel about that as well. Like I said, this is just getting to be to a point where it's just ridiculous. Especially if you take part on social media, if you feed the trolls, so to speak. You're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on even IG. You have people that fashion themselves to be a new Tommy Loren and they're posting live videos saying racist stuff, and it's just getting to a point where does it stop? Did we really want to know how racist everyone was? It's crazy because you have some people out there that's like, you know what? I like it this way. I like it where I can tell who's racist and who's not because they're out in the open with it. Me, on the other hand, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know if I really was ready to hear what America thinks about me as an African American woman. Talk about African American women. Did y'all hear the story that happened a couple of weeks ago with the ladies coming out of their Airbnb? Black women had the police called on them. The crazy part about it is when you watch these pundits up on up on TV and on the talk shows and The View and everything like that, they seem to be shocked. Oh my God, I'm so shocked. They seem to be so freaking shocked regarding how we're being treated. They were shocked at the Starbucks thing. They were shocked at the women having the police called on them coming out of an Airbnb. They were shocked because a white woman called the police on people having a barbecue. The only thing that has changed in America is that we have cell phone videos. We have people to take actual accounts of what's happening. But this been going on forever. Are any of y'all surprised? Were y'all surprised at the Starbucks thing? Them having the police called on them because they didn't patronize? Anybody shocked about that? If you've ever lived being an African American in this country, there's nothing to be shocked about. I have my own stories. I don't know if I ever had the police called on me about anything, but I've had, especially living in New York, I've had women clutch their purse when they see me getting into an elevator with them or walking down the street with them. Now, funny enough, I started clutching my purse too, and some of them realize how silly they look. Like, look, who coming to rob us? Who? Please put me on. I'm scared. I'm scared just like you scared. Who you see? So, I've had people clutch their purse. I've had police officers talk to me all types of disrespectful when I was the victim. And I hate to play the quote unquote race card, but I did feel like it was because of the color of my skin. I felt like if I was a little blonde white girl with the same exact problems, they would be coddling me instead of asking me for my identification like I did something wrong. But back to the subject at hand. We are talking about people basically just coming out saying reckless things ever since this happened. What about the guy, what was that, last week, the lawyer dude who went on his extremely racist rant, talk about how he was going to call ICE on people speaking Spanish in a deli to each other, by the way. They claim that they were speaking different accounts of the story. Somebody said that they were speaking Spanish to a customer, but I believe the customer was speaking Spanish to them as well. Which, if you have ever lived in New York or ever visited New York City, you would know that Spanish is to the point where it's almost like that is our second language. Even if you don't speak fluently, I bet you know how to speak the poppy down at the grocery, at the bodega. You come in, hola papi. We throw a little Spanish words here and there. I was saying to somebody, it is to be offended at hearing Spanish in New York is just as ridiculous as being offended at hearing a Southern accent when you visit the South. It is everywhere. Most of our Spanish people in New York City are American citizens. They're usually Puerto Rican. I think at one time I read a statistic that said I don't know how true it is, but the statistic said there were more Puerto Ricans living in New York City than it was actually in Puerto Rico. So 10-1, that dude was threatening to call ICE on some American citizens he just happened to hear speaking Spanish. I saw a video clip just the other day of this off-duty officer asking these women for proof of their citizenship because he heard them speaking Spanish. He was an off-duty, not Homeland Security, border security. Off-duty border security who started asking these women for their ID or proof of citizenship just because he heard them speak in Spanish, and Spanish is not a language that they heard often in those parts. And to top it all off, the media reached out to border security for comment. Our federal border security for comment, and they said, oh, they're allowed to do that. You don't believe me? Look up the story. I think you can find it anywhere. You could just Google it. You can see the story. It's getting to the point now where I feel like America is trolling us. This can't be life. This can't be real. And for those of y'all that are tuned in, please feel free to let me know how you feel about this situation, either by giving me a call here or just plain chat with me in the Spreaker console. I'll be more than happy to address any concerns or comments that you have regarding this issue. So, one of the things I was wondering today, with all the visceral anti-everything that's going on, anti-black people, anti-immigrants. I don't care what nobody say. This president is not anti-illegal immigration. He is just anti-immigrants. Because he's trying to stop even legal immigration. For y'all that are not very familiar with the immigration system, I am, because I was with an immigrant for a long time. There's something called the lottery system. Now, I don't remember what the actual term of it is called, but it's called the Visa Lottery. And basically, the way it was started is, I think it was like people from, countries, underserved countries, or what our president will refer to as shithole countries. They basically started the Visa Lotto to allow those people to have a greater chance to come into America legally. And it's been going around forever. It's not free, nor is it cheap to file all the paperwork for the Visa Lotto. And even after you spend all that money, put all that money into filing the paperwork for the Visa Lotto, it's a lottery. There's no guarantee that your name will be chosen. And then even if they choose your name, there's no guarantee that you'll have the money to get any of the other things that they ask you for, even when they do approve you. It is expensive. The president has already suggested getting rid of the Visa Lottery because he was sick of people coming from quote unquote shithole countries and would rather have people come from Norway. As if we got like a whole shitload of people trying to invade our country from Norway. And let's keep it 100. Norway has a better economy, free healthcare, free college. They don't want to come here. That'd be a downgrade. And I hate to say these things and sound unpatriotic. I truly do love my country, but I'm not liking where it's going right now. So that's where we are right now as a country. It's just ridiculous. But like I was starting to say, one of the things that I was wondering is, where's our hashtag Me Too? Because, yeah, there's a movement going on. And let me tell you, I am so with the Me Too movement. Like, I am a Me Too. And we'll talk about that on a subsequent podcast. But the Me Too movement is gaining strength. You've seen people taken down from Cosby to Weinstein to the newest one is Morgan Freeman. Although I haven't seen him really, I haven't seen him really suffer any consequences as of yet. So far, it's just scandal. But, let's see what happens. But anyway, Me Too is gaining strength. It's shutting people's whole careers down. It's putting people in jail. It's getting people arrested. We need a hashtag for this movement, because this movement, whatever it is, we are opening people's eyes people that wanted to be so blind to be like, oh, you got you a black president and there's no more racism. For those people who were so quick to say that, now this movement, whatever it is, we need a hashtag. I'm telling y'all hit me with what y'all think the hashtag should be. But whatever this movement is, we need a hashtag, because this is shutting people's careers down. See what happened to Roseanne today? So yeah, this is what happens. You know what I mean? Like, people whole livelihoods is getting shut down based on what they're saying regarding racism and the behavior that we're encountering. So yeah, I hope you guys can still hear me. And I'm not hearing anything from any of y'all. Are y'all listening? If you don't get a chance to listen now, that's all right, because I am actually, like I do with every episode, this is being recorded and it will be available for listening, your listening pleasure later on. And I still, even when I'm not on the air, I welcome ideas regarding anything that I've said on my podcast. You can call the number, the 1-833-4D-LAS. You can also hit me up in my inbox, either on, if we're friends on Facebook, you can hit me up on my Facebook inbox, or you can hit me up on my podcast inbox, which is available to the public, The Lazarus Effect. So yeah, give me one moment. I'm encountering a little bit of technical difficulties here. Okay, so I see there's quite a few people liking the Lazarus Effect podcast. Thank you for that, and I hope you guys are tuning in. So like I was saying, this is just getting ridiculous. We need our own hashtag. Definitely. Where's our Me Too hashtag? Me 3? Stop the racism. I don't know, but we need our own hashtag. Black Twitter takes before it was Black Twitter, but now you got white people just as upset, looking at the racism here. So give me one moment. Still adjusting something here. Like I said, we brand new folks. Please do not hold it against me. Sometimes I do need to check my mic levels and my headset levels. I'm still learning as I go along. And where is this? Okay. Hello. I'm so sorry, folks. I lost audio for a second, but thank you so much for hanging in there with me. So, again, we need our own hashtag. It's just getting ridiculous, you know. It's one thing to have Joe Schmo or Mary whoever down the street, you know, look at you and think of you as an ape. There's another thing when it's our celebrities. It's people who we, not necessarily look up to. I mean, I'm a grown woman, so I don't look up to any of these people, but I did enjoy the Roseanne show. I checked it out I was like, oh shoot, they brought Roseanne back. And at first, because I knew of her stupidity in the past with spreading complete lies or propaganda or conspiracy theories, calling Chelsea Clinton, Chelsea Soros Clinton and stuff like that. I mean, I already knew about her wild conspiracy theories. I remember Trump praising her when her show came back. That almost made me not watch it. But one day I decided I was going to take a look-see, a little gander, and it was actually good. It was funny. I was like, oh, okay, cool. They had the political commentary, but it was still funny, especially when you consider, okay, you got DJ who, excuse me, not DJ. You got Darlene, who we all knew to be a tomboy, and it was all suggested that she might be gay up until she got a boyfriend, and then we were all like, oh snap, she got a boyfriend, she's not gay. Well, now fast forward to the future, she has a son, and the son is very how can I put this, very metrosexual. The son is like in elementary school, and he likes going to school with like skirts and bright colors and boas on. And I think the underlying irony in that is the fact that Darlene used to be very tomboyish. So yeah, give me one moment. I'm responding to somebody who should be chatting. Oh, there we are. Somebody's chatting with me. I told you I look at these chats up on Spreaker, the Spreaker platform. So if you are shy and you don't like being on the air, you don't want to call in and hear your voice, your lovely voice on the air, you are more than welcome to chat with me either on Facebook or up on the Spreaker platform. I prefer Spreaker because I can see that quicker. So yeah, somebody was responding to the fact that I went completely mute for a couple of minutes earlier. I would lie to you. I did lie to you at first. I said it was a technical issue. It wasn't a technical issue. My studio is in my home and in my home office, and I have a 10-month-old baby, and for some reason somebody thought it was cool that he be left alone in here with me while I was on the air. So look, one of the things you always gonna get with the Lazarus effect is honesty. You know what I mean? That's the honest to God truth. There was a 10-month-old crawling and climbing up my leg while I was trying to talk to you guys. So I finally got somebody to come get the kid, and we are back in full effect with the Lazarus effect. Yay. And I'm glad that you are listening, Mr. Jonesy. I put in look, let me tell you something. I got awesome friends, you know what I mean? Like a sister don't always have money like that, and once in a while I have a few people help me out, you know what I mean? And S. Jonesy, I don't know what he prefers to go as his professional name, but he made this awesome logo for me, the Lazarus Effect logo that has the Atlanta skyline in the background, and I'm loving it. And so he was able to go ahead and do that. Hold on, somebody's asking how do they tune in. I'm going to share the link with her because I want a lot, I want as many people as possible to join in this discussion, because I don't know about you, but this actually, it's not to the point where it's entertaining anymore. In the beginning it was like, ha ha ha, the racists are out, look at them. You know, now it's like, this is getting ridiculous. How do I punch them in the face? Okay, not literally, but you know, it's just getting to the point where I would like to proverbially punch them in the face. This is getting ridiculous. So at least, you know, slap them in the mouth or something. I mean, I'm not a very physically violent person. I'm only violent in my head. But these things that been coming out their mouth, like, and you know, it's this old saying that they keep saying, the fish rots from the head. Y'all know what that means? The fish rots from the head. That means that you are getting your example of how to be from whoever's at the top. The rotten smell that permeates starts from the leadership. And in this case, the top of the fish is Donald Trump. I will have a lot to say about this man, because if you want to call him a man, but I have a lot to say about him because he is the one setting the precedence. And it's not just racism. See, if it was just racism, I could have said, oh, well, he just uncovered what happened all along. But it's just a general meanness, a mean energy, a spirit. It's just nasty. If you're not coming after people of color, you coming after, you know, well, still people of color, immigrants. If you're not coming after people of color, immigrants, you're coming after the disabled. If you're not coming after the disabled, you're coming after people who are of a different religion. If you're not coming after people of a different religion, you're coming after people who dying. I know y'all heard of that whole, unless you was under a rock, like I said before, I know y'all heard of that whole John McCain situation. Now, granted, I'm not truly a fan of McCain's politics or nothing, but, you know, I ain't gonna kick the dude while he down. I mean, yeah, he dying, but dag, it's okay for your aide to say that, and that chick still works there. Let me tell you, there's nobody I hate more. If you watch my Twitter feed, or if you watch my Twitter feed, or you see anything that I post regarding this chick on social media, I cannot stand John McCain's daughter, Meghan McCain. I cannot I don't want to say the H word. I don't want to say hate, but I dislike her a lot with a passion, because she gets up, you know, she's one of the chicks on The View, but, you know, she gets up there and she claims that she can't stand Trump, but then every time you turn around, she's defending something he did or said or whatever, or somebody in his camp did or said, not because she actually agrees with him, but because she's trying so hard to defend the Republican Party that she's defending him. If you remember anything about Donald Trump, he wasn't a Republican to start with. He never was a freaking Republican. He don't believe nothing he's saying. I don't know if he believes anything he's saying. I don't know if, honestly, I am still, here we are a year and some change in. I don't know if he actually believes the stuff he says. I don't know if he's actually that racist. I don't know if he's actually that stupid or that smart. I still haven't figured it out yet. Y'all let me know if y'all figured it out, because I'm still confused. I be looking at dude and I'm like, okay, he really didn't just tweet that. Or he didn't really just say that. Like when the whole Charleston situation happened and he got on TV and he kept saying, oh, both sides. There were some good people on both sides. You know any good neo-Nazis? There were people who did bad things on both sides. And then he refused to refute it. Then he came back, refuted it, and then came back again and said both sides again. So again, I'm trying to figure out, is he that stupid or that smart? I mean, if I was going to say he was being connivingly smart, I would have said, okay, he was doing that because he knows he has a shitload of neo-Nazi followers who show up at his little stupid rallies. and vote for, might have been the ones that voted for him, and he doesn't want to alienate them for his bid for president in 2020, and that's why he says that. Whatever the case is, he's emboldening racists. He's making it okay for them to say the type of shit that Roseanne said today. Again, if you are just tuning in, or you have not been paying attention to what's happened today, Roseanne's sitcom got canceled because she compared a black woman politician to an ape. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. She did it on Twitter. Oh, by the way, and she left Twitter, by the way, right after she said it. I'm so sorry. That's what they do. They say these racist things and then they're mad sorry. The attorney last week, and it's funny because that wasn't his first racist rant. I got somebody that just tuned in and they're saying Donald Trump might not be racist. He just flows wherever the money is, which means whoever. But let's expound on what you just said right there. He's not racist. He just flows where the money is. Right? But according to Trump, he's so rich. Wouldn't becoming president of the United States, which I believe last I checked, it pays about $500,000 a year. Wouldn't that be a pay cut? Why did you want the presidency so bad? I mean, if it's all about money, right? And it's true, the latter half of what you said, Sean, the latter half of what you said, which means whoever, that I agree with. If you guys checked out this Netflix series, documentary series, and y'all really need to check it out. It was really good and really eye-opening. It was called Dirty Money. On the last episode of episode 6 of Dirty Money, it was exclusively dedicated to Donald Trump and his dealings. And one of the things that they delved into is the fact that he generally will go wherever the money is. It don't matter where it's coming from, how unscrupulous the people are that are providing this. The thing is we're going to get into what S. Jonesy just said in a second. But right now I'm addressing what Sean said as far as him not being racist, and going where the money is. I don't know if I all the way agree with the not being racist, but definitely going where the money is. Like I said, that episode 6 of Dirty Money, it'll really open your eyes. He is not worth what he claims to be worth. Okay, so now in that case, we're going to get into what S. Jonesy is saying. By the way, if you guys want to know who I'm talking to, because I know you don't hear anybody else, let's talk about the Spreaker platform. You guys can chat with me there. I will respond. If you're kind of shy, you don't like calling in, the 1-833-4D-LAZ, you could definitely chat with me on the Spreaker platform. I will answer you. So what S. Jonesy is saying, which I kind of agree with, he goes, nah, he's definitely a racist and an elitist. The funny part is, let's get with that elitist thing. Let's look up the definition of elitist, because I want to make sure I get this right. All right. I mean, to the far right, an elitist is anyone who has anything other than a 6th grade education. But let's see what the word elitist means. Let's get into that. Elitist, adjective, relating to or supporting the view that a society or system should be led by an elite. Noun, a person who believes that a society or system should be led by an elite. Synonyms, aristocrat, blue blood, snob. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. He might be an elitist. But the thing is like, when I think of an elitist, I might think of a snob, but I think of someone who's well educated. Somebody who, can hold their own in a conversation. He's not well educated. I mean, yes, maybe his repertoire, maybe his resume shows that he's well educated. But let's keep it 100, folks. Have you heard this man speak? Seriously, I have a 15-year-old, and she had a better vocabulary when she was 11. I honestly think he paid his daddy Drumpf paid his way through school. Like, had to. There's no way this man has any kind of education. In fact, it was questioned in the beginning of his presidency. I don't know if you guys remember this, but in the beginning of his presidency, it was questioned whether the man was even literate. Could he even read words off a page? S. Jonesy says he speaks on a 6th grade level. Honestly, I think you're being too nice. I told you my daughter had a better vocabulary than this man. But she was like 11, maybe 10. Shoot, my son can't even talk yet. He got a better vocabulary. Let me stop. And then Sean says maybe he just became president just to add it to his resume. I don't know if he cares that much. I honestly think and this is not even a thought. This is the truth. The truth is he's surrounded by a bunch of yes men. And I think some yes man that was brown nosing was like, you know what? You should be president. And he was like, you know what? I should. And then decided to run for president. Just the same way he did, if you guys were paying attention to that stupid speech he gave, where he was talking about his so-called meeting with Kim Jong-un, and he was talking about, somebody in the crowd started yelling Nobel Peace Prize, and he's like, oh, no, me, Nobel Peace Prize. That's the first time I ever seen him act like he was a little bit humble. But anyway, we're getting off subject. I told you I have a lot to say about this man. But we're talking about how the fish rots from the head, how the leadership of this administration is making it okay. And then let's talk about it's not just Trump. Think about the people that he has surrounded himself by. Remember Steve Bannon? Steve Bannon was an unapologetic racist, white nationalist. And this was his closest advisor. That should tell you something. That should tell you something right there. You are surrounding yourself with people who are racist. There's some other people. If you guys know this, please jump in. The other people that he had surrounding him that had either got caught saying racist things or owned racist publications. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And Sean, up on the chat, she said if he's friends with those that he demeans that are wealthy, is he still a racist? Wait, you got to finish that thought. You didn't finish that thought, Sean. I think where she was going with it was she was saying, is he still a racist if he seems to demean everyone? I think that's what she's trying to say. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about though. Remember what I said? I said it's not just the racism. It's the all around meanness. Now, just because he's mean all around doesn't take away from the fact that he's racist. But it's being reflected by the entire. Yeah, I agree. S. Jonesy says this makes him a narcissist. We already know that. Let's talk about the Memorial Day tweet. Because I follow at Real Donald Trump on Twitter. So I get his BS the second he posts it. Just makes me even that more excited to go voting in November. But did you guys see the Memorial Day tweet? Even I don't know Well, I mean, I know some veterans, but I don't know anybody who died in any wars. But even I put up a fairly sober post on Memorial Day. In fact, I'll read it to you. I said, most of us forget what this day is about because we don't have anyone we know that died in battle. And that's because they are the few and our diamonds in the rough. So while you chomping down on your barbecue, take time to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Also, if you lost anybody you'd like to remember on this day, this is their memorial too. Hashtag Day of Remembrance. This idiot, now I'm not going to do him any justice and read his entire tweet, but I'm going to tell you, this idiot went up on Memorial Day and made Memorial Day about him. Those who died would be so happy to know that we have a great unemployment rate. African Americans have the highest unemployment rate ever in the country, and blah, blah, blah. It was literally all about him. It was the most self-serving tweet ever. Any other politician, any other person on earth, that was a day for the people who died. That was a day to celebrate the people who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. He made it about, look what Trump did. Yay. He does. Sean says he brags about how he's friends with rich Muslims. But the point of the matter is, that's that my one black friend thing. Oh, how could I not like Muslims? I have Muslim friends. I'm getting Arab money. They're getting Arab money. How could I be racist when black people have the lowest unemployment numbers since I've been president? First of all, let's talk about how that was thanks to President Obama. Definitely part of his narcissism as Jonesy. By the way, I will always refer to you guys when you chat with me. I will always refer to you by whatever name pops up on your chat. So, if it's your Facebook name, if your name is like, should have bought a Honda, but I got a Mitsubishi, that's what I'm going to refer to you as. So don't come up here with no crazy names, because that's exactly what you're going to be for the whole time we speak. Okay. So yeah, you know what? Honestly, I love you guys, but I think, y'all could let me know how y'all feel about it. But I think I'm gonna cancel my service with my 1-800 number. Y'all don't like talking. That's the that's the world we live in today. People don't like talking on the phone no more. I don't care what you call yourself. See, S. Jonesy is trying to correct me and say what he prefer to be called, but I'm not calling you what you prefer to be called. I'm calling you what popped up on the thing. Oh shoot, I might have a caller. We'll see. It's 1-833-4D-LAS. In case you don't know how to use the letters on the thing, it's 1-833-433-3529. I'll repeat it one more time. It's 1-833-433-3529. Hey, if this podcast thing don't work out, I'm gonna try and be one of those sexy ladies on the phone. What they call them? I don't know what they call them. What they call them? The ones that do the sex hotlines. Yeah, I'm gonna do one of those. I'm gonna try it again. 1-833-433-3529. And that is my line ringing in. Let's see who we have on the air. Give me a moment. All right. And of course, like I said, you guys bear with me. This is a brand new thing for me. I am literally learning how to do this as we go along. Anyways, like I said, we have a caller, and caller, state your name, please.
This is Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery in Alabama. All right, Montgomery in Alabama. What you feel about today's topic? Tell me about how you feel about all of it.
That's great. That's what I'm talking about.
Say it again. You coming in pretty low.
Okay, this is. I can't even. Where do we begin when it comes to trouble? I just wanted to end. So where do we begin?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, that Memorial Day tweet kind of says it all. It kind of says this is what this person is about. He's still talking about lock her up. For what? He's still talking about his inauguration size. No one cares. You're still talking about that you won. No, you got selected by the Electoral College. You didn't win anything. You lost by 30 million votes. Yep. Still talking about things that do not matter. You're pushing an agenda that is dangerously close to not only isolationism, but I'm not going to say imperialism, but you're pushing very closely to fascism. This is a dangerous state. The fact that people can actually walk up. You're calling the cops on people who literally are minding their own business. Literally. Now, these things have been happening since the dawn of time. It's just that we have these brilliant smartphones and people are recording it. That's the difference. It's just like when everybody say, oh, the world's coming to an end. We're in the last days. No. This is the same thing that was happening in 1943. And now I got a phone. I can take a picture of it and it can be on the news within 5 minutes.
Let me stop you right there. Montgomery, thank you. You brought up a great point that I actually wanted to talk about tonight. You ever hear somebody say, oh, he done set us back 100 years, right? Talking about some stupid thing one of our fellow black people did. And you sitting there looking at them like, oh my God, they done set us back 10 years with that one. Or they set us back 50 years with that one. I'm looking at this administration and I'm like, yo, he is literally setting us back 100 years. Like, who is this dude? You definitely brought it back. We are back in the 1940s again.
The attitude of some white people right now is very 1920-ish. Negro, you need to stay in your place. I'm just waiting for somebody to say, just put out a stamp that says, whites only. I'm just waiting for it.
Man.
It's a problem. I mean, one of the problems I have is that I live in Atlanta, so you kind of live in a bubble of blackness. Whereas when people ask me, well, how do you like living in Georgia? I don't know. I only drive through there. I don't live there. Would you live in Atlanta? Yeah. But if you come to Atlanta, you'll see how much Georgia ain't in it. Once you leave outside of the metro, you meet the South, where you can drive by and see on a 200-300 foot flagpole a Confederate flag that is easily 100 foot by 75. Where else are you going to see that?
North Carolina, but we ain't going to talk about that.
Oh, I seen that one too.
Man, I wound up in the wrong town in North Carolina. I was like, let's get out of here.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of wrong towns. There's a whole bunch of places that only serve that don't serve nigger pie.
How about I turn you into nigger pie?
That's where we're at, where people are actually bold enough. They think it's okay that there is no consequence to what you're saying. The problem is you got people like me, even Mr. Perry, who just chimed in, who might punch you in your shit. Excuse my French. You can come up with it, but can you say it while I'm punching you? Not saying that's the easiest course of action because, you end up in jail for stuff like that. But at the same time, I live in a fighting word state. So if you threaten me, please believe I'm under no duty to retreat. I will stand my ground.
Well, that's a whole nother. Wait, hold on. Let me interrupt you there, Mr. Montgomery. Let me tell you. Now, you know that. I was going to say, you know that stand your ground stuff. I don't know if that worked the same for us now.
It will, because I'm going to make sure somebody on the side recording. So if I got to put my phone on the car, hey, I'm about to get this recorded, homie. I'm about to be on Facebook getting your ass beat.
Well,
you have people that are scarily emboldened that they can get away with this because their president sets an example. People are following an example that is set by this person who's literally a piece of shit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Let's not play with it. This person is inherently just a piece of shit. But he's a reflection of everything we went through with the previous 8 years.
Amen.
He's vocalized. This is what everything they accuse Obama of, he's actually doing. So you got what you asked for. You spoke it into existence. You said he was a traitor. He's probably a traitor. Trump's probably a traitor. You said that he was basically selling America off. He's selling America off at a very fast rate.
Definitely. I want to interrupt you for a second, sir, and I'm gonna respond to something that Sean said. She said, being devil's advocate, freedom of speech. Why cancel her show? Trump ain't been canceled. Her personal comments doesn't reflect ABC's views. Knowing she reckless, why cancel? I'm just saying. Well, let me just tell you how freedom of speech works. Freedom of speech means you can say whatever the hell you like, except you can't yell fire in a theater or anything. But you are not free. Exactly. Just exactly what he took the words right out of my mouth. You are not free. Hold on, Mr. Montgomery. This is my show. Hush, Mr. Montgomery. This is my show. Listen. Okay. So yes, you can say whatever you'd like to say in the world, you know. But you are not free from the consequences. Wow, say that 3 times fast. Consequences. You are not free from the consequences of whatever you said. So, for example, yes, you can go out in the street and say something reckless about Donald Trump, but that don't mean Secret Service won't be knocking at your door later. You can say whatever it is. You could be a celebrity and say whatever it is about any particular group that you would like to say. But at the end of the day, you're not free from people boycotting you. You're not free from sponsors pulling out of supporting you. You're not free from the consequences. So yes, we have freedom of speech. In other words, this is what our freedom of speech does for us. This makes sure that, like back in the pre-Pilgrim days, we're not getting our doors knocked down and put in handcuffs because of something we said. That is what freedom of speech does. Freedom of speech doesn't mean you can say whatever the hell you feel like it and not get any kind of repercussions whatsoever in the court of public opinion. Now, Mina Williams said basically her contract probably has rules about what she says and how that might impact their advertising. They had to let her go. And that is another thing. I mean, ABC probably did not want to deal with the backlash of, you know, all of the advertisers jumping ship, which, by the way, if you've been paying attention, that's exactly what has happened recently. That's how a couple of people done lost their shows on Fox News. Not that I watch that, unless I want to piss myself off. But that's how a few people lost their jobs on Fox News. It wasn't because Fox News was, they were so upset behind what these people said. It was because the advertisers were like, peace, I'm out. We're not going to support that. And if you know anything about show business, especially when it comes to these shows, you know, that is how they stay afloat. They get advertisers. That's what I'm looking for. You know, shameless plug. You know, if you'd like to pay in any phenomenal form, the Lazarus Effect, to advertise your business, I am here to do it. Back to the subject at hand. Thank you, Mina, for tuning in, by the way. And thank you, Sean. Mr. Montgomery, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
So let me ask you a question, because I talked a little bit about this earlier, and nobody was really paying attention. But I said, what happened to our hashtag? What hashtag we gonna use? We need a hashtag for this whole racism, because black folks is shutting shit down. What's our hashtag?
But how many do we need? I'm pretty sure there's a few. One of them was what D.L. Hughley has, which is it's too much. He has a few more. He normally has pretty good ones. But how many more hashtags do we need? How about we just shut this shit down? That's the hashtag.
The
only problem I have is when we start to get to a point where if you go to one place and that place doesn't have an overall record of doing this, that one place has a problem. You never had a problem. Your friends have never had a problem. You don't really know if anybody had a problem, but you saw this on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. And like I just saw a video, I posted one about Walgreens. That's not all Walgreens, because I've never had that experience at Walgreens. I've never seen anybody have that experience at Walgreens, but that young man did. That doesn't mean boycott all Walgreens, especially if they do something about it. That girl is no longer employed there.
Right.
K-Fact. You know what I'm saying? You do some retraining, do some in-service. Everybody can't do the Starbucks model. That was not only brilliant, that was something that I don't think any company has ever done. Okay, we're just going to shut everybody down for a day, and we're going to talk about this.
No doubt. And that's what I'm saying. By the way, not to cut you off, Mr. Montgomery, but just I had to let people know. You know, it's funny because we having so much fun. I'm realizing I done passed my hour time slot, but so we're gonna have to cut this short. We definitely are gonna have way more to talk about on this subject. I am, for one, incensed with how this country is turning out under this administration. I mean, Mina, she is, she was a burner. She is one of my favorite Facebook people. Although we don't always agree on every subject, there are quite a few things that we do agree on. And one of the things is I could not believe that Trump won. Like, who voted for this dude? Okay, we know who voted for him, but that's besides the point. I just didn't know it was that many stupid people in our country.
I'm going to tell you to go travel throughout the South North. Yeah, they exist. Click on comments sometimes.
I know, right? But
click on any of the little cop block on it. When they're talking about, bad cops.
Right.
Click on those.
Oh, I am completely done. Like I said, sorry to cut you off, but like I said before, I feel like America is trolling us right now. Like I don't care look, I mean, I like you and everything, Mr. Montgomery, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think we need a hashtag, because it looks so cool when they be shutting down these sexual predators and they be like, hashtag me too. We need a me too. We need a better me too. I know it's too much. That's not black enough. We need something black. That's what we could do. We could be like, hashtag black hand side. That's what we're going to start calling it. We're going to start calling it. When people whole careers get shut down because they said something racist towards the people of color, it's going to be like hashtag black hand side. Oh, Mina corrected me. She said she wasn't a burner. My bad. Well, I know she felt like I felt. Trump shouldn't have won. Hillary should be president. Hillary is president in my mind. Not really. You can't escape this administration, man. Every day is something stupid. every day. Jeez. Anyway, Mr. Montgomery, I'm going to end this call because we are at the end of our show. So thank you so much for calling in. You know, we are going to have way more discussions on this. I'm telling you. First of all, keep it up. Keep that in mind. Hashtag black hand side. That's what happened to Roseanne today. She got black hand sided. We're going to make that catch on. I'm going to start that on Twitter tonight. Watch. Hashtag black hand side. Y'all join in with me. Come on Twitter. Y'all, we're going to make this trend. Hashtag black hand side. Then they're going to interview me on CNN. And I'm going to be like, yo, all my listeners, help me come up with hashtag black hand side. That's what just happened. I told you I was going to come up with a hashtag before the end of this show. Anyway, we have reached the end of our show, people. I want to thank everybody that came and joined in on our program. It was wonderful being able to have this discussion with you. I feel a little less anger in my heart tonight. Right now, if you are not paying attention, y'all should tune in to CNN because, well, apparently CNN and a bunch of other stations, because the orange idiot is about to speak and apparently he's going to mention Roseanne. Racist comment coming in 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, anyway, thank y'all so much for joining me. We are at 6 minutes over our time, but it was enjoyable. I am so happy that y'all joined me today. I want y'all to tune in every time I come on the air. Y'all will always get a link right before I go live. Also, don't forget you can listen to hashtag stay woke as hell. I like that one. So y'all can always listen to the program on YouTube, SoundCloud. You can go to Facebook and check out my page, The Lazarus Effect. There's links to the recorded shows there. Soon, very, very soon, I will be on iTunes. You'll be able to listen to me directly from your Apple product. All right, y'all. It has been wonderful talking to you. We have just left The Lazarus Effect. I'm so glad y'all joined me. Night, night. The Lazarus Effect. You've reached The Lazarus Effect. Do not adjust your speakers. You're on with your host, D-Laz.